Hey, surprise, it's me again. This is the look that I'm going to be doing today. I hope you like it. Yeah, party's starting. Get keen.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I achieved this look here. I did this look using the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette and the Too Faced Cocoa Contour palette, which they have updated since this version. They now have an updated version of this palette, but the shades in here are pretty similar to the new version. So yeah, I'll be showing you how I got this look out of these two palettes. It was kind of like an olivey khaki kind of halo eye, which is quite different to the usual cat eye that I go for. I know it's not that different, but it's a bit different in my opinion. So yeah, if you wanted to see how I got this look here and all the base products I'm using, then please keep on watching. Okay, so I'm going to do my makeup with my hair in a bun, and then I'm going to take out my bun and hopefully my hair's like a little bit textured or curly at the end. I'm going to start off with foundation today, and the foundation I'll be wearing is the Rimmel Lasting Radiance SPF 25 Medium Coverage Anti-Pollution Foundation. It just looks like this, and I'll be using a Real Techniques buffing brush, which is probably one of my favorite, or my favorite of all time, foundation brush. It's just like a flat top buffing brush that I'm going to use to apply my foundation. I'm going to use a couple of pumps of this and pop that straight on the face. You probably know the drill already. I'm not a big fan of using primers. It's just another step, and I've never really found a primer that I'm obsessed with. I'm not really one to try a load of primers either, though. I don't know. I don't really feel like I need it that much. Like, my makeup, it generally lasts pretty well throughout the day, so I don't find that I'm missing a primer or anything, so yeah, I usually go without. I probably will build up a little bit of coverage today because I feel like I'm breaking out a bit. It was that time of the month, so I have some breakouts around my chin area because of that. And then I just have some other random breakouts because, I don't know, maybe I haven't been cleaning my face as well. Or like, I did travel last week, so it might be from that, just like different environments or like not cleaning my face as well because I was on holiday or something. But yeah, that's about all the foundation I'm going to do. But I'm going to conceal. The concealer I'm also going to use from the same little like Rimmel Lasting Radiance range. And the concealer shade I'm going to be wearing is 10 Ivory. It just looks like this. And I'll probably use the same buffing brush to buff in the concealer. I'm going to put concealer on my chin here because I have some breakouts there. Oh my gosh, I have breakouts everywhere. I'm putting it under my eyes so that I can brighten that area just because like, you know, brightness, more coverage. I'll put some around my nose. I feel like I have so much breakouts right now. Maybe I should have chosen a higher coverage foundation. Oops. Let's put some underneath where my bronzer will go as well. I feel like I'm breaking out in that like contour area. I kind of don't like breaking out there because like when I break out on my chin, it's like yuck, but whatever. But if I break out on the sides of my face, that's where all my powder products go. And so when I like blend in my powder products like my bronzer or my blush or something, it becomes very noticeable. So I don't really like getting breakouts there. It's one of my least favorite places to get breakouts. I also hate getting breakouts on the center of my face, like around my nose. A breakout on my nose is like so rude. I hate it when I get a pimple there because I feel like it's in the center of my face and I don't want people looking at a pimple on the tip of my nose. That's just not preferable. Anyway, my preferred places to get pimples, if I have to get one, probably up here somewhere, like up in my forehead. It's like kind of like less in my face. Maybe somewhere I can hide with hair, you know, something like that. I also don't like getting pimples around my mouth. I just feel like it looks like a dot around my mouth, and I feel like it looks weird. I don't know. Not my preference. Next I'm going to powder, and I'm going to be using another Rimmel product. There's a lot of Rimmel today. This is the Rimmel Clear Complexion Clarifying Powder. It just looks like this, and I only have a little bit left. I really like this powder. I got the shade 21 Transparent, and yeah, it used to be a pressed powder, but mine broke, and so mine's a loose powder now. But I didn't repress it because every time I repressed it, it broke again, which was kind of frustrating. So I just left it as a loose powder, and you know what? It does work pretty well as a loose powder. I've previously also had the Rimmel Stay Matte powder in the transparent shade as well, and I just feel like they're a really good affordable powder. You get a lot of bang for your buck from the product. You know, it's an affordable product and it works really well for the price. And yeah, I just love these powders. They matte your face down really nicely. They generally stay pretty well throughout the day. They're not bulletproof, but they're very good for, you know, what you're paying for. And it is a very matte powder. This is as matte as it gets. Like, these are really good. I really like these. Also, I like the clear complexion one, how the packaging is like, I like that blue color. The other one, the Stay Matte range, is just like a neutral beigey kind of like foundation-y kind of shade of like packaging on the bottom. But I like how this one's glue. I think that's a really cute little touch there. Anyway, next I'm going to be going in with some bronzer. The bronzer I'm going to be using is the Too Faced Cocoa Contour Chisel to Perfection palette. Also, I powdered all over my face, hoping that that would also help with my powder products going over the top, hoping that they don't skip as much over my areas that I've like concealed with all my breakouts on my cheeks. I don't know if you can see, there's just like a couple, like 1, 2, couple of there, and then just some like in this area. I don't know how many are really going on. I don't want to find out actually. I'm going to be using this shade down here that's called Dark Cocoa. As you can see, I've got a huge amount of pan on these. I'm just trying to finish off this palette for these 3 shades. I'm never going to use up this shade Pop of Light because it's like got glitter through it. It's like a pale powder with micro glitters in it. It's just not practical. I don't have anything that I would use that for except for like setting my lids. It's just not something I would use. It's not like enough for a highlight, but it's not matte enough to be like a setting powder. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just getting a little bit of the Dark Cocoa bronzer, and it's the more warmer toned bronzer in the palette out of the 2. The shade Medium Cocoa is more of like a neutral to cool toned kind of product, and I'm just going to be bronzing up my cheeks with that. You are supposed to like contour and chisel out the cheeks a bit more with the medium, and then like bronze more with dark cocoa, but I'm just going to go in only with dark cocoa today. It came down a bit further than I wanted it to. Do you see that? It's like a bit too much. Oops, whatever. I'll just blend it away with the brush that I used with the transparent powder earlier. Kind of take it down a little bit. I don't mind over bronzing though because I like being bronzed, so whatever. I really find it difficult to use powders when there is so little left in the pan because it's all stuck there on the sides. So a lot of the time I get my finger and like break up the product a little bit so it's like a loose bronzer, but then I feel like it applies patchy. But if I repress it, it won't be the same kind of vibe. I don't know, I don't always like repressing a powder. Sometimes I feel like it kind of takes away from the consistency of the product or changes how like the product applies. I don't know, that's just in my personal opinion. I feel like I don't set my products down when I'm repressing them very like firmly into the pan, and so they become a very loose product anyway, so I may as well just like break it up with my finger and keep using it that way. But yeah, I'm just going on those areas of my cheeks, under my jawline, so that I'm blended into my neck and like a little bit more like sculpted down there. And I'm also going to be taking this of course into my hairline, along my forehead, just bronzing up all of the perimeters of the face. This brush that I'm using, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but this brush, I'm like really trying to get into the side of the palette here, is from Benefit Cosmetics, and it's the Hoola bronzer brush. So I bought this and it was like in a time when they had a load of Hoola products. I think they discontinued this brush, which is kind of unfortunate because it's my favorite shape for a bronzer brush. I just feel like this large fluffy dome shape is really easy to apply. You can get a large amount of area because if you're like me and go crazy with the bronzer, it's really nice and easy to like smack on a load of bronzer with. I just love that brush. And if I do too much, I just grab my transparent powder brush and like blend it around, kind of take it down hopefully. But I don't really care about being over bronzed. I always feel like when I look in the viewfinder, I look really like a lot, but when I do it, my makeup, just like looking in the mirror, I feel like it's less. Sorry that I always do crazier makeup for you guys. Next I'm going to be taking some blush from MAC, and this one's really pigmented. This is Gingerly. It's a sheer tone blush from MAC, and I feel like it has like kind of a matte formula. It's a very neutral blush for me. Typically I'm like a peachy pinky corally blush person, but this one's a bit more of a neutral blush, and I go in with a heavy hand because I love being over blushed, and the blush brush I use is the angled blush brush from Nude by Nature. I love also putting blush of course on my forehead and across the nose and just like kind of a little bit on the fronts of the cheeks there, but I typically take it higher up on the cheekbone just to like lift the face a bit more. This bronzer is really nice for like kind of a bronzy blush. It's more of like a sun-kissed glow. And it is very pigmented, which is why I prefer to use a looser, more fluffy brush with it. Typically I go for a very small blush brush. Blush brush is really hard to say. But I do like going for this larger, fluffier brush because I feel like it doesn't apply as intensely and I feel like it's easy to blend out. This one's from Nude by Nature, but you can get a fluffy brush from anywhere. This is just one that I've really been enjoying to use, particularly with my MAC blushes. It's not my favourite blush brush for every blush that I do, but I like it with my MAC brushes. I feel like my hairline, you can see like the whiteness of my scalp peeking through. Don't look at it. Next I'm going to go in with some highlight. Did I bring a highlight brush with me? I didn't. Oh well, I guess I'll use this angled blush brush. The highlight that I'm using is again from MAC, and this is Whisper of Guilt, and it's an extra dimension skin finish. Real cult classic from MAC. It's just a golden highlight. I love it so much. I typically don't use this brush for highlight. I just can't be bothered to get up and go over to the rest of my brushes, which are on the other side of my room right now. So I'm just going to be building this up as much as I can. I feel like I'm getting hard pan a little bit in this highlight, so excuse me for swirling around a lot. I mean, I am a cakey highlight person. I put on a lot of highlights, so love overdoing it. Don't mind that. If you don't want to overdo it, you don't have to. I'm just a bit of a over-the-top person, but I just want to be able to see that like glow that you can see there on my viewfinder. So that's why I'm putting on a load. If I was in the mirror looking at myself, would I do this much? No, maybe, I don't know. But I am today, so you're welcome. I'm taking it up in like a C shape up the side of the face here, and then I also take it above the brow bone just because it's another place to highlight, so why not? I didn't always highlight above the brow bone, but I've been enjoying doing it because it's just, do you see that? Like, I feel like my face is plastic in a nice way. You might not like it. Not everyone has to do it. I just love doing it on me. Okay, I'm going to go in with a little bit of nose contour just because I love nose contour. I feel so like snatched when I do it. There's so much loose powder everywhere. I'm going to be taking the shade Medium Cocoa, which is the cooler toned bronzer shade from the Cocoa Contour palette. I'm just going to be taking that on the bottom of the nose, and as you can see, that has really cut off the length of my nose. I should have tapped off the extra product. And then I'm just going to take it in like little straight lines down the side of my nose, just to give my nose more like definition and shape. I feel like if I bronze my whole face and then I don't bronze my nose, or like don't contour my nose looks so pale in comparison to all like the chiseling and stuff I did on my cheekbones. So don't forget your nose, don't leave your nose lonely. I also take it, so I take it down the sides on the bottom, and then I take it just over the tip to create like a little bit of lift. And yeah, that's how I do my nose contour. If you have tips on how I can make it look better, please tell me. I like the look of like a really snatched small nose, so if you have tips, let me know. Actually, should I highlight my nose now or later? I'll do it later. Let's go into eyes next. I'm going to be using, of course, the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette, and I'm going to be going in with primarily this like khaki shade up here. That's why I'm wearing my camo t-shirt. I thought I would match the vibes of the look I'm going for. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to achieve the look in my mind, but hopefully we get there. What's a big fluffy brush? All my brushes are from Real Techniques. Most of them are anyway. I'm going to set my eye with White Chocolate, which is just this large shade at the top of the pan, just because I'm still loading. I don't exactly know what I'm going to do, so I just thought I'd set my eye in the meantime. And setting your eye gives a nice base for your shadows to work on top of anyway, so it'll give a nice even base to start off with to make things blend into my eyelid a bit more easier. I'm blending that right from like my inner corner all the way to my brow bone, and like taking that into my like edge of my brow a bit, like really out there. It's just like a really light white white matte powder, and so it kind of like blends away to like nothing if you blend it in. It just like sets the eyes. Next I'm going to go in with this shade here, which is called Salted Caramel. It's kind of like a warm matte shade. It's not too warm, it's not like orangey or anything, it's just slightly on the warmer side, kind of like a neutral warm, if that makes sense. And I'm going to be grabbing this brush from Real Techniques from the Bold Metals collection. This is the brush number 200, and I'm just going to pack this through the crease. I love this brush so much. Definitely one of my favorite brushes. Just really soft, very, very luxurious. The Bold Metals range from Real Techniques is so luxe. They're still available on the Australian website if you want to grab any of them. Not the whole range though. Some of the brushes are now out of stock, but a lot of them are still available. Otherwise they are on eBay. I've purchased some of mine from eBay, and it just looks so like seamlessly buffed and blended. That was so easy. Next I'm going to go in with the shade Milk Chocolate. I'm going to grab this one here. Milk Chocolate is like a slightly darker transition shade in the palette. I'm going to work my way really slowly into the colours of this look just because I'm a little nervous. I'm using the same brush and just buffing that in really gently, focusing it more on the outer crease and taking the colour really slightly towards the inner corner of my eye and making sure that it blends out as I blend it upwards and outwards. But yeah, Milk Chocolate is a more neutral, darker shade. It's also matte, and yeah, just adding a little bit more depth, creating a little bit more dimension to the eyes there. Next I'm going to be taking this shade Hazelnut. Now Hazelnut is a really really pretty shimmery shade. I'm going to take the same brush again. I love just using like one brush as much as I can because it saves my brushes. It means I can not wash my brushes for longer because only a couple of them are dirty, hopefully. And I'm just going to pack this pretty much only on my outer corner. I don't want this to be everywhere. I just want to create more of a feline shape by taking this only on the outer corner. As you can tell with my brush, I only put pigment on one side so that the other side of the brush is like still clean. So if I want to blend in later with a clean side of the brush, I have a side that has a little bit of the product on it, but not too much. So it's easy to like blend in and not add too much more product. So now I'm going to blend in with the cleaner side and hopefully it doesn't deposit as much product as it would if I blended in with the dirtier side, if that makes sense. So I'm just using the flat edge of the other side of the brush. Oh, nice, pretty seamless blend. I'm pretty happy with myself. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Gilded Ganache, and that is the main shade that I've been excited about using today. It just looks like this. It is like a shimmery, khaki green kind of shade. It kind of matches the dark green on my shirt. I'm just going to be grabbing it on my brush and kind of taking it all over my mobile lid in like a halo eye kind of shape. If it doesn't come out as intensely as I like, I might lay down some sort of concealer as like a primer for it to stick to, but we'll see how it goes. I don't use this shade very often, to be honest, just because when I reach for this palette, there's a lot of fallout. I always go for really boring and similar looks, so I'm trying to expand that today by going for something a little bit more exciting. I thought a green halo eye might switch it up a bit. I am really pleased with the way these colors work together, but yeah, the green in my palette isn't like as pigmented, so I'm kind of going there quite a bit to get like product showing up on my lid. If you wanted it to be easier, go with the primer. Should I go within my finger? No, I don't feel like that's helping that much anyway. Anyway, I'm just going to build it up and keep building until I'm happy with the shape. I kind of want to have like a semicircle on my lid. The reason I made such like a feline cat shape to begin with was because I prefer like a feline cat shape eye makeup. So I still wanted to have that like upward pull on my eye. I feel like it's most flattering. Yet I still wanted a halo eye. So I'm just going to go in on the other eye. I think that's as dark as I'm going to take it. There's so much fallout on my face, but don't worry. I'll buff that away in a sec. I'm just going to pack this all over my lid. I'm taking it mostly over my mobile lid, but I'm taking it upwards a little bit just so that it blends into the rest of my, rest of my makeup. I'm just trying to work it into my inner corner here a bit more. It's really hard to get on my inner corner in here. It's kind of like a detailed area. This probably isn't the best brush to get into that small, precise space, but whatever. Anyway, I'm really excited for this look, actually. I really like the way, like cat eye looks look on me, so I don't really reach for halo eyes as much, even though they are really pretty and I love looking at them on other people especially. I'm just like really used to cat eye makeup looks on myself just because I feel like that's most flattering on my eye shape. I'm going to take this up a little bit more because I feel like I don't want to close my eyes in too much. I just feel like halo eyes can be a bit heavy on me, so I'm going to brighten this one up later obviously because I want it to be eye-opening. I want it to be flattering. I don't want it to look like scary as it kind of looks right now. Right now it's a bit scary, to be honest. It kind of is a bit dark. Makeup's not scary, I lied. Oh my gosh, I almost dug my brush into my palette as I was like applying the makeup. I almost like, did I dig? No, I didn't dig. I just like bumped the palette. That would have been scary. Anyway, as I'm blending, I'm also creating like a lower lash line smudge. Now typically I'm not a fan of like lower lash line shadow on myself. I like a really lifted look, but I actually really like the way this has fallen. I was going to take extra like shadow underneath my lash line after blending, but it's actually fallen out perfectly the way I'd like it to. Like it's a perfect smudge down there. So I'm actually going to leave it. I think that's all of the green Gilded Ganache shade that I'm going to add. So I'm just going to buff away the fallout before I get too frustrated with it. I don't have a dirty face, you know. I don't want it to look too messy. I'm going to grab a little bit more of that Rimmel translucent pressed powder that is no longer pressed and broken now. And I'm just going to use that on the brush just to give me a little bit of something to buff away with so that I'm not like sticking it to my face. Let's buff some more. Geez, there was a lot of fallout from that shade. I was like really digging into the palette to do that though. Like it isn't the worst shade. I don't know. Maybe I'm not that good at using it. I don't know. I don't usually use that shade because I have other greens that I typically reach for. There's a lot of fallout. I hope that doesn't make my room really dirty. Anyway, This has been a really good powder. I'm going to be kind of sad when it's used up. I have some other powders that I'm excited to try after though. Once I finish panning that, I'll probably start on my Maybelline Fit Me loose powder, which I'm really excited for. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Creme Brulee, which is this gorgeous shade here. It's kind of like a golden champagne-y kind of shade. It is more on the cool champagne side. Did I bring a setting powder with me? I mean a setting spray. I'm going to come back with a setting spray. Be right back. The setting spray I grabbed is the NYX Matte Finish little setting spray here. This has been one of my favorite setting sprays for years and years and years. I just sprayed it on my finger instead of on the brush. But yeah, this has been one of my favorite setting sprays for years. I use it for literally everything. It's a really good drugstore priced setting spray. I'm just going to use this Creme Brulee shade and pack it on the middle of my lid just for a little bit of brightness. I'm just keeping that on my mobile lid. I'm creating kind of like a little bit of like a glint on the halo eye so that there's a little bit of like a pop in the center. It really opens it up. As you can see, these two eyes compared, this one's a lot brighter and lighter, whereas this is still quite a sunken looking eye, which is a nice look too. If you just left it at that, that'd be really cool. Should I do liner today? I was thinking about doing eyeliner, but now I feel like maybe this look doesn't need eyeliner. Maybe I'll just go in with the lashes. Oh my goodness, I'm an eyeliner fiend. I love eyeliner. I use it on everything. Maybe not today. Now that I've done that really messily, I'm going to blend it later, don't worry. I'm going to grab this shade here. This is Marzipan, just with the same damp brush. Marzipan is so gorgeous. It's like a pinky champagne pearlescent shade. I'm just going to dig my brush in there and pat that just on the very, very center of that place we just added creme brulee. So it goes, you know, most of it is Gilded Ganache, smaller amount of creme brulee, and then the tiniest amount of Marzipan just in the center, just for the tiniest glint, little light in the middle. So gorgeous. I'm kind of keeping these tones pretty warm. Like none of the shades we used are like cool tones. Okay, this kind of looks like a pile of mess on my eye. Like there's so many things layered. But now I'm going to grab another brush and just blend out the edges. What brush is going to be my victim? You are. I don't know what you're called though. This was the brush that I used earlier to contour my nose, but there isn't that much product on it because I really like don't use a load of product to blend my nose contour. So I'm just going to buff the edges of those shimmers into each other so there's no harsh edges, yet still making sure to keep those shimmers bright so they're still like intense on the center of my eye. I don't want like a harsh line, but I do want the like shimmers to show up, so I'm pretty happy with that. I kind of want them to have like a little halo effect, and I do feel that. If you can hear, my parents are saying goodnight to my dog in the background, so they're having a giggle. Next I'm going to line my lash line with some eyeliner, stick on some lashes and brows, and I'm going to come right back. Okay, so I lied. I did put on a wing a little bit. It's not the biggest wing, but I just couldn't help myself. I popped on my lashes. Don't ask me what lashes they are. There's some random lashes that I bought in Taiwan. And then my lash glue, of course, is my Duo lash glue. The brows I did with my favorite Colourpop Precision Brow Pencil, whereas I just used it in the shade Black and Brown. I just filled in my brows lightly, and I feel like my eyes don't look too dark, and my face doesn't look too dark now. Trust the process, guys, you know? We're here in the end. Sorry my hair's scraggly. I'm not very good at doing my hair, but we're just going to go with it. I'm going to put a little bit more lightness underneath my eyes just to brighten right underneath the bright part of the halo. I'm going to go in with that damp brush that has a combination of Marzipan and Creme Brulee that we used earlier. It's just like a dirty brush. I'm just going to take it underneath here in like the little underneath part of the eye, and I'm just going to blend it very, very lightly underneath the light part of the halo eye. I might grab a little bit of both shades again, just to add a little bit of light underneath there. Just kind of makes your like pupil look bigger, in my opinion. I don't know. Can you tell? I just feel like it adds a little like something, a little extra dimension, a little extra drama. Also, while I was off camera, I did add highlight in the detailed areas of my face, just the same highlight as I used earlier on my brow bone, inner corner highlight, down the center of the nose, and on my cupid's bow. And to finish off the look, I'm just going to be using one of these two glosses. I'm going to go for the really, really light one. This shade is from Dose of Colors, and it's from the I Love Sarah E collection in the shade Barely There. I love this gloss. I lost it for like a week there, and I was really upset. You've seen it on my channel before. I wear this all the time. It's a little bit of a warmer toned pinky nude. A true like peachy kind of vibe. Yep, that's all I'm going to add. I really love how pigmented the Dose of Colors formula is. It's really intense, and the like flavor taste of their glosses, the scent is really nice as well. So it's like a very cupcakey, sugary, vanilla-y kind of scent. But yeah, this is the completed makeup look today using the Too Faced Cocoa contour palette and the chocolate chip, not chocolate chip, the original chocolate bar palette. I hope you like this look that I came up with. If you did, please give this video a big thumbs up, comment anything you would like to see from me in future down below, subscribe if you would like to see more content from me, and hopefully I'll see you in a future video soon. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye!
And of course, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your likes and comments, and thank you for subscribing. Yeah, hope you're doing well. Love you so much. Catch you in the next one. Love you, love you, love you. Bye!